Okay.
Can you tell us how much snow fell on Montgomery County and which areas got the most snow?
Well, I have gotten reports up to 32 inches in the western northern Montgomery County, and then I believe there are reports of 24 inches in the Silver Spring area and some other locations. In terms of the neighborhood street, I want to emphasize we are already working on 1,000 lane miles of emergency and priority roads. And our neighborhood streets are 4,000 lane miles,
Wow.
which we're going to start tomorrow. And as Mr. Leggett indicated, it's a multi-day operation.
Have you finished the 1,000?
We are in the process right now, and we want to finish that by tonight or early tomorrow morning. We're going to be working around the clock 24/7 until this entire operation is successfully completed.
And how's it been going? Have you had any problems so far?
Not a major problem. Of course, there are equipment breakdowns here and there, but overall, I guess I'm very satisfied with the progress that the Highway Division has made so far, and we expect that they will continue same level of quality work that they are famous for.
And what about Ride-On?
Right on.
Ride-On operation, as Mr. Leggett indicated, is not going to operate tomorrow. It will be shut down, and then we will reassess tomorrow and advise accordingly.
We did have one non-road emergency, that is a boiler room collapse with the weight of the ice and snow that knocked the power out to a condominium that served about 250 units and about 750 people. That was the most severe incident that we've had thus far that compromised. I want to also acknowledge and thank Pepco, who was prepared and ready to do its job. And we had a minimum of power outages, and they brought in crews on standby and prepared to help us. Unfortunately, fortunately, at least in this case, we did not need that level of service.
Can you talk about 270? How are we on that?
270?
270 on the main line or the express line, it appears to be clear. I noticed an hour ago that they were still working on the local lanes, clearing up. So, but I think they made a good progress last night in terms of clearing the 270 and 495.
And where do we go from here with 270?
Beg pardon?
270 is clear now?
They're working on it, on the local lanes.
What's the time frame and what's the future for 270?
I don't have the update from the State Highway Administration, and they are really the agency that they are handling the 270.
An important point, the county does not clear I-270.
Yeah, one other, again, to clarify, Montgomery County DOT does not maintain I-270 or 495 or any other number roads such as Georgia Avenue, 355, Rockville Pike, and those are under Maryland State Highway Administration jurisdiction, and they maintain and clear the snow on those roads.
Where are you taking the snow to? You talked about having the.
We have 5 sites, throughout the county, and we're going to be hauling this snow into those 5 sites.
And you have to do that as you work, and that's.
Oh yes, we're going to be hauling away snow.
I have spelling
Okay.
names.
And you opened a shelter yesterday. What was the response to that emergency shelter?
Well, the response was slow in the beginning, but we had a lot of residents. We blasted the messages out to them via phone and email. But in the end, it really came down to knocking on doors. And once we did that, we ended up with about 70 people who just really simply had nowhere else to go. So, City of Gaithersburg, and a lot of praise to them, opened up a shelter at Borough Park. Those residents are there still, and we will continue to accommodate them until their need, while the need exists.
And as far as fire and EMS, any delays, any issues with 911 or any of those things?
Well, travel was always difficult throughout, but I will tell you, we have to give a great deal of praise to the National Guard, who deployed assets on our request, and we got 19 high-rise vehicles to be able to transport through. The Guard has done a tremendous job. They were assigned out to the 6 police precincts during the course of the storm, and during the storm, they were our primary source of transport. They were also transporting individuals and supplies to the shelter and other places. So, great thanks to them.
One more question, Mr. Leggett. I just tweeted out what you said about we encourage people not to go to work tomorrow, and they're completely freaking out about it. Most with excitement. Can you respond to that?
Well, Montgomery County is closed.
Right.
Our school system is closed as well. And the challenge again will be that we cannot get all of the vehicles through the residential community.
Right.
We will start that tomorrow. And keep in mind that Ramada is not operating fully tomorrow, and Ride-On is not. And therefore, it will be a very difficult challenge for people to have the transportation. And if you're driving in individual cars, it only increases the amount of traffic that's out on the road. At a time when we have difficulties with sight distance and snowbanks, so we encourage people who can, do not try to go to work tomorrow. Allow us to continue to make the operations, and we'll assess this as we go forward.
But in the end, they're employees. So are you asking companies to stay closed so that?
To the degree they can, yes. To those who can and go without operation tomorrow, we're urging them not to. I know that that's not the case in all situations because there are some people who are essential, and essential employees who will have to go there. But for employees who can afford not to allow people to come to work tomorrow, we urge them not to do so.
Yeah. Can you just do what he said, direct it to the employers who would get us all in trouble if we don't show up? I think that's why everyone's so excited on Twitter.
Let me go again. Montgomery County is closed tomorrow. Our public schools are closed tomorrow. Ramada is only operating in limited services, and Ride-On is not operating tomorrow. We have difficulties getting people from the residential communities to the levels of transportation that they need in order to go to work.
Right.
Given that, we urge people, if you can, if you're not essential to your employer, not to go to work tomorrow. And the employers will hope that you will understand the need and necessity for us to try to keep traffic to a minimum. We do not want to have this to go much longer than is necessary. More traffic on the road creates that possibility. And so we're urging people, if you can, not to go to work tomorrow. Yes.
Everyone loves this.
Yes.
And I have one more question. What kind of calls are you getting in the 311 center, if any? Has the call volume been high?
Call volume has increased at the, excuse me, as the emergency manager. Call volume has increased. We're seeing it increase a bit more today. Call volume on 911 actually was kind of low across the last 24 hours. But we expect that we will